Okay, hello everyone. So today I am going to show you how I have learned to search for information sources. So for this particular assignment, we were to look for 5 information sources on the topic of space exploration and its potential benefits and risks to factors such as the environment, economically, and from an ethical standpoint. So, to begin, for my first few sources, I went to research databases right here, and I came up, and it'll take you to this page, and I went down to academic one file. Yep, right here. And for my keywords, I typed in space exploration and benefits, and then it automatically put the full text filter on there for me. So when I'm looking for sources, I'm just looking at the title first of all to see if it kind of goes with my topic. I find this to be quicker than clicking on every single article and reading an overview about it. So for the first one, I saw, let's see where it's at. The spaceflight and global unification. I had it already pulled up there. So this one, I chose this source of information because it highlights the benefits of space exploration and how it educates scientists and individuals on what could happen to the Earth from space science and space research. So, for instance, this little paragraph says observing and analyzing the dust storms on Mars have provided us with models of what happens to planet's climate if massive amounts of dust are blown into the atmosphere, as would happen on Earth from a volcano, a large impact, or a nuclear holocaust. So, this whole article kind of just goes over what would happen or what we know can happen to Earth from an environment standpoint, from exploring space, and the research of space. So that is why I chose that first article. So the second article was through Academic One File as well. And for this one, I actually typed in and here I typed in space exploration and risks, and I came up on this page, and it already had the full text filter on, so I also put in the peer-reviewed journal as well. And for this one, I chose Striving for Mars, What Are Acceptable Risks? So this whole article basically highlights what are acceptable risks to space exploration, and it also backs up the ethical standpoint, because what risks are astronauts taking through human space exploration, and how are they, like, what do we accept them to be towards an ethical standpoint? So this kind of just highlights the risks that astronauts take, what happens to their bodies, stuff like that, their mindsets, and everything like that. So that is why I chose this article, and it is peer-reviewed. So it is a credible source of information. Okay, so for the next one, I actually went to this Search Everything, and I typed in space exploration risks. Okay, so for this search, I used a filter for magazine articles because we were to have a news source as well. So I'm kind of just scrolling through here, looking at all of the titles. And I chose this one, Why We Will Never Live in Space. You can access this through EBSCO, which is another database. So this article highlights the technological, biological, psychological, and ethical challenges to leaving Earth. So basically, this article, as well as the last one, kind of looks at the risks that astronauts take when they leave the Earth's atmosphere and what it does to their bodies. So I thought this was an awesome article. Okay, so for my next article, I went to the research databases and I went down to science. And from here, this is a Gale research database through a science journal. And I found this article. And this article I chose, it is peer-reviewed, so it is credible. And it also highlights, it kind of overlooks the pros and cons of space exploration, and it outweighs the economic benefit, but also the environmental protection, the environmental risks of space exploration. And it kind of goes between the two on if the economic benefit is worth the environmental risks. So I thought that fit perfectly with the topic, and that is why I chose this article. So for my last article, I went to Google Scholar, and through here, I typed in for my keywords benefits of space exploration, and I put the filter on that is since 2024 because I know that a couple of my sources are pretty outdated, and that's never a terrible thing, especially when you're talking about a topic that is so broad. It's nice to have a little back history to it, but I did want something up to date with relevant research. So I chose this article, which is Space Research to Explore Novel Biochemical Insights on Earth. And I chose this one because it highlights that health tech, medical devices, and human biology research advancements benefit from space research. So that kind of shows the benefits of space exploration. And astronauts are exposed to an accelerated aging-related pathophysiological dysregulation across multiple systems of their body. So this whole article kind of looks at benefits of space, but also looks at risks that astronauts take. So that is why I chose that one. So overall, I think that I learned how to refine my searches in this course to find specific sources that fit my topic. And I think that this was probably also the most important part of the course for me. This course impacted my studies tremendously because I was working on 2 other research projects during this. So in other courses. So this included finding specific sources for those papers and knowing how to refine searches and use different databases. Knowing this information from this course allowed for my other search for sources and my other courses to be quicker and easier. And I think the assignment that helped me the most in this course was the annotated bibliography, because of the effective feedback we got throughout the whole process of it. So we had 5 drafts of the annotated bibliography, and I think if we only had 1 or 2, it would have limited the ability for me to okay, so like I was saying, I think that having the 5 drafts of the annotated bibliography were very helpful in teaching us how to cite the sources correctly, and how to write the summaries, assessments, and the reflections for the annotated bibliography. And this helped me in my other courses to succeed on the annotated bibliographies because of that constant feedback that we received from Professor Hartman. At this point, I don't have any recommendations or suggestions for Professor Hartman. I really appreciated her patience with her students. She was quick to reply to any questions that we had on any assignments. She allowed for mistakes to be corrected if there needed to be any.